The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Attention Ditto Heads. Attention Bo Scouts.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
It's time for the soul of excellence.
He is a radio host here in New York.
The Rush Hour is on the air.
Rush.
Now here's James Golden.
Welcome my friends. It's Friday. Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. We're going to join the conference going on, the press conference after the meeting between New York's incoming mayor, Trump-Mamdani, and President Donald Trump. It's about to wrap up, but let's get the last few minutes of it.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. President. You said that you both spoke about crime.
Yeah.
There are many police officers set to come off the rolls at the end of this year in New York City. Are you going to allow those police to be replaced with police officers, actual cops? And are you going to require that happens? Would there be some consequences?
Well, I hope it happens, but again, that's going to be ultimately the mayor's decision.
What's your answer?
Is that I look forward to delivering public safety with the NYPD, and I've said over the course of our campaign that we have the number of police officers today. They are the ones that's budgeted about 35,000 headcount. And I think the key thing is that we have to make it easier for police to focus on police work, not ask them to respond to 200,000 mental health calls a year.
So is that a reduction from what you're at right now? Are you committing to maintaining the same level?
I've committed over the course of the campaign to maintain the 35,000. That's the headcount that we had through the campaign.
And not replace them with caseworkers, social work.
No, I've said that's the headcount that we want. What we need to do is make sure they can focus on serious crime.
And he just retained a great police commissioner, I believe, right?
Yes, we did. Commissioner Fish.
If the newspapers are correct.
That one they're correct about.
He retained, I think, somebody that is she's a good friend of some of the people in my family, of Ivanka, and they say she's really good, really competent, and he just retained her, so that's a good sign.
Are there still topics that you see that you're disagreeing on in the future, and do you think you'll have more meetings like this?
There will be topics that we disagree on. I think we'll probably come to a conclusion, and ultimately he'll convince me, or I'll convince him. It's for the good of New York. Ultimately, it's for the good of New York. I don't care about affiliations or parties or anything else. I want to see if this city could be unbelievable, if he could be a spectacular success, I'd be very happy.
Do you think you guys will meet more in the future, too?
Too?
Do you think you'll meet again in the future, throughout the administration?
I think we will. Yeah. I think we will. I hope we do. I enjoyed the meeting. We had a great meeting. Please.
Mr. President, Republican Elise Stefanik has campaigned multiple times by calling Trump-Mamdani a jihadist. Do you think you're standing next to a jihadist right now in the Oval Office?
No, I don't. But she's out there campaigning, and you say things sometimes in a campaign.
Isn't that sort of
she's a very capable person, but you really have to ask her about that. But I don't particularly. I think I met with a man who's a very rational person. I met with a man who really wants to see New York be great again, and I can say again because New York was great. When I came down to Washington initially, the city was so hot. It was doing great. We were having some telltale signs of problems. We had a mayor that was not doing a great job, but still, it was moving along, and it went bad. It really went, pretty bad. And I think it's been at lower points, but it went pretty bad. I think he can bring it back. Now, the question is, will he bring it back all the way? Will he bring it back greater than ever before, which is, I guarantee, that's his wish. I think he wants to make it greater than ever before. And if he can, we'll be out there cheering. I'll be cheering for him. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody.
You chose not to answer the question about the city hall.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no, I care very deeply about Jewish safety, and I look forward to rooting out anti-Semitism across the 5 boroughs and protecting Jewish New Yorkers and every New Yorker who calls the city hall.
And there you have it, my friends. It wrapping up, described as a meeting that ended with both men generally complimentary of each other. Both saying they want to improve New York. Donald Trump, the happier Mamdani does, the happier I am. And Mamdani said he was really looking forward to delivering for New Yorkers in a partnership with Donald Trump on the affordability agenda. Of course, this is talk. We'll see what happens after the cameras go away. Welcome, my friends, to the, once again, it's Friday, so soon, edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. And a lot more to discuss. I'm sure we'll have a lot of bites from that after press conference, but basically, okay, it didn't blow up in recriminations against each other. Two leaders met, and we'll see what happens. All is not well in the political world. Besides that, Democrats are still making a big deal out of, I think, one of the most disgraceful chapters in Democrat Party history, which is you have members of the military who served in the military who are now elected Democrats who really tried to undermine the president's role as commander-in-chief of the United States. It is a disgrace what has happened. Today, they're playing victim. Many of them are out with after their horrible video suggesting, and of course they're hiding behind something. They're hiding behind the fact that they said that military and intelligence community members don't have to obey unlawful orders. Well, that. You know, we had a really good explanation of why that is so despicable. And we've had him on the show, haven't had him on in ages. He was on with Sean last night, was Joe Concha, who's just a media reporter. Joe is just really good guy. He's just solid. He's as solid as he can be. And let's play that for a moment. Carlos, let's cut to Joe Concha was on with Sean last night, and his explanation is exactly on point.
Well, the president is called the commander-in-chief for a reason. He gives a command, and the military follows that command. No ambiguity, no interpretation, no debate. That's how it's always been and always how it should be. And yet, we have a major political party in a video that we're showing here. It's been viewed tens of millions of times on social media, imploring military members to disobey orders if they deem those orders to be illegal. These same Democrats can't define exactly what an illegal order is. So as an example, Sean, if the pilots that carried out that incredible mission, flying from a base in Missouri, 18 hours, straight hours, into hostile territory in Iran to take out nuclear capabilities in Fordo, what would happen if those pilots decided, you know what, this mission may be illegal halfway through the flight? What if they turned those planes around? What if they let the enemy know in advance? But this is what we're seeing from Democrats, saying something completely unhinged, outrageous. Then they wait for the reaction. And then, as you pointed out, they play the victim when the reaction comes and they're called out for what it is. And as usual, our legacy media is now trying to say that Trump is the bad guy here for calling this for what it is. It is 31 flavors of delusion, Sean. Democrats, they've gone over many red lines lately. This is the biggest red line they have gone over, and they will pay a political price.
I hope they do pay a political price for it, but Joe's absolutely right about the way it's being covered in the media. Now, you had Jason Crow on, and this is just, and I wish that this one hadn't been cut before it was posted on social media. One of those people, Jason Crow, cut 4, was asked about this idea of, can you point to, well, let's just listen to it.
So are you saying that there was not necessarily any particular precipitating event? There is no specific thing out there that made you decide now is the right time?
That's right. To be clear, we are not calling on folks right now to disobey any type of unlawful order.
Right. Okay, so why'd you make the video? And further to the point, if people feel that there has been an unlawful order, it is for the Congress of the United States to step in, to say, and some are doing it. This is not a theory absent of reality. You have Rand Paul, for instance, one of the voices saying, look, these strikes on these narco-terrorists, these drug narco-terrorists, we believe is wrong. Okay, that is going to, at some point, either come to a head or not, depending on if many others in the legislative branch think it's a problem. But what you're asking, what these people are asking, they're all out pretending that they're so offended. Tulsi Gabbard, who was shot horribly, her husband is one of the lead on this, Senator Mark Kelly, outraged. She's outraged that Donald Trump supposedly has called for her husband. She should be outraged that members of the military that are Democrats have decided to use their elected positions to try to undermine the commander-in-chief, and to do it by trying to foment dissension and instability, not just in the American military, but in our intelligence services as well. And this should be a cause of national outrage. These Democrats, with their Trump derangement syndrome, are actually trying to foment a civil war in this country, if they can. And we have seen it coming. They have fomented people with so much outrage over ICE that now there's violence. Everywhere ICE shows up, you have these people. There was a news report, in fact, cut 7 of what is happening with the ICE and the way that Democrats and their rhetoric have inflamed people with ICE.
Affidavit details allegations the North Carolina native called the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department last week, told officers he's a veteran, and then threatened to kill ICE agents and CMPD officers if immigration-related arrests continue. The document includes Thomas's alleged threat to come to Charlotte with body armor, ammunition, and night vision devices to kill law enforcement officers if he saw them making ICE arrests along Albemarle Road. He allegedly threatened to shoot them all if he saw any more arrests happen, and that he would Swiss cheese the officers. Investigators believe he was referencing the May 12th ICE arrests on Albemarle Road near a CMS campus.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
I tried calling the number investigators say Thomas used to contact CMPD, but was sent to voicemail. The affidavit explains additional threats, including claims Thomas had explosives around his house, saying, "If you feel like getting a warrant for anything I've said today, I hope it's worth somebody's life." Thomas has said,
these are the kind of deranged people that Democrats are now trying to take advantage of, to try to use their hatred of Donald Trump to instill and foment unrest in the American military, in the intelligence community. This is dangerous stuff, and a dangerous political game that Democrats are playing, and they are now grandstanding, no doubt, trying to do fundraising around it. It is despicable what these people with their dangerous Trump derangement syndrome are doing, and they need to be called out on it. Bo Snerdley, it is the Friday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour, fastest hour in American media. Don't go away.
Rush. This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Bo Snerdley.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
Ah, yes, the Fugees. Ladies and gentlemen, bring us back to Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour, the Friday edition. Today, Grammy-winning rapper Prakazwel Praz-Muckle of the Fugees was sentenced to 14 years in prison. He was convicted of illegally funneling millions of dollars in foreign contributions to the President Barack Obama's 2012 re-election campaign. He declined, the 52-year-old did, to address the court before U.S. Judge Colleen Collar-Cotelli. It was this past April, so many things going on, a lot of people didn't notice, that a federal jury convicted him of 10 counts, including conspiracy, acting as an unregistered agent of a foreign government. The trial was held in Washington, D.C. Testimony included people like Leonardo DiCaprio and former AG Jeff Sessions. It wasn't really highlighted, was it? Didn't see much about this. Justice Department prosecutors recommended that Michael get a life sentence. That's what they said the federal guidelines call for, but he got 14 years in the slammer. Prosecutors said he had betrayed his country for money, lied unapologetically and unrelentingly to carry out his schemes, to funnel money into the Barack Obama presidential campaign from foreign donors. I don't recall people getting that kind of sentence for Clinton, because, there was a lot of talk about foreign donations, the Buddhist monks and all that, in President Clinton's campaign. Beside. Anyway, his defense attorney, Peter Zadenberg, said 14 years in the slammer? That's completely disproportionate to the offense. And they're promising an appeal. What a rap for the rapper. 14 years in the slammer. Bo Snerdley, fastest hour in American media, continues. Don't go away.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
My friends, I don't often try to pollute this program with audio intentionally. I have to do it, and I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. Fang Fang's boyfriend was on Jimmy... Fang Fang, the Chinese spy. Fang Fang's boyfriend was on with Jimmy Kimmel last night, and this.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. I love California. It's the greatest country in the world. Greatest country in the world. But that's why it pisses me off to see Californians running through the fields where they work from ICE agents or troops in our streets.
It's horrifying.
It's horrifying.
It's absolutely
or cancer research
horrifying.
Being canceled. It's awful to look at. And our state, this great state, needs a fighter and a protector, someone who will bring prices down, lift wages up. And we can say that we're the fourth largest economy in the world, and we are, and I love to brag about that. But what does that mean if you can't afford to live here? So I've been in these fights as a city council member up in Dublin, my hometown, as a prosecutor in Oakland, and taking on the most corrupt president ever in the U.S. Congress. But I'm ready to bring this fight home. So I came here tonight, Jimmy, to tell you and your audience that I'm running to be the next governor of California.
Okay, enough. We don't have to listen to the applause from the... They keep talking. He and Mamdani and all these other Democrats keep talking about how unaffordable the places are that they represent. Who has been running them? Who has run California for decades now? Who has run it in terms of the policies of California and run it into the ground? The same people now that say that they're going to change all of a sudden, oh, it's so unaffordable. So elect me because I'm part of the problem in the machine and I'm going to fix everything. that my party has done, me and my party has done, elect me for more of the same. It's just astounding. James Golden Snerdley here, the fastest 1 hour in American media. All right, Rush had a great name for Chris Cuomo back when he was on CNN. Called him Fredo. Those of you that watched The Godfather know the name Fredo. And it got to the point that people were calling Chris Cuomo Fredo in public. And he wasn't happy with it. He almost got into a fight. There's a video of him almost getting into a fight with a guy that called him Fredo. That started on the Rush Show. It's like, he's like Fredo. I will tell you this. I don't think Chris Cuomo is Fredo anymore. I think Chris Cuomo actually would have made a much better candidate to run in the New York mayor's race than his brother. Yes, I do. I've been listening. Chris Cuomo has been on News Nation. On CNN, he was always the party line. You want to be anti-Trump. Now, on News Nation, he's been kind of outspoken. And not just on one issue. This is consistently. I mean, he's a Democrat. He's a liberal. He's going to be a liberal Democrat, but he's not a crazed liberal Democrat. It took me twice to listen to it. I don't know whether we have to do it. He was asked about this whole thing, the Democrats' latest campaign to try to undermine the President of the United States, try to undermine his authority as commander-in-chief with the military and with the intelligence community. And first, I couldn't figure out whether Chris was yay or nay. And it dawned on me, well, anyway, just listen to his, and I'll...
Right or wrong?
Afterwards.
This? Wrong. All day long.
He's playing the video.
He's MAGA. Shut
and
up.
And showing who they are.
This is the truth. Okay? Saying what they said is not even close to illegal. It is not even close to any legal or logical definition of treason. And if you watch this show, I said last night when it came out, it was wrong to put the duty to check a president on the troops. It's on you. You have a constitutional duty. What an ugly irony that it's members of Congress asking this. It should be citizens who might be asking that. You were supposed to check. It's why you raised your right hand. But what is it about now? They're looking for a fight. Why? Because you want them to. Because you want a muscular response to Trump. You want him to stop walking all over you. You want him to stop getting away with everything and him calling the game all the time and controlling everything. You want a muscular response. That's why you want Newsom on Twitter, acting like fools. We're all acting like fools. Why? Because I guess we don't know any better anymore. But I know we're playing with fire, and I know worse is to come on this course. I don't like it. I don't want it. I will leave my family. I will enter unsafe conditions to cover it. But if we don't reset and fast, we are asking for big trouble. Okay?
So, deciphering all of that, he says that what these people said, these senators and Democrat congressmen, it wasn't treason. That's his first point. It wasn't treason. But it was wrong. They should, and he's making the point, I thought it was Contra made another point. It was actually him that made the point, Chris Cuomo, that it is up to Congress. They're there for the check and balance. If they think that there is something illegal, they're supposed to exercise their responsibility as Congress and get support for that and stop it. In the executive branch, they have a check of the executive branch, and they should use it. Not try to put it on the troops. And that, which was the second point he made. But then, why are these Democrats behaving so badly? He didn't say so badly, I am. Because their liberal base is demanding they act badly. Their liberal base is tired of seeing Trump win. And they want, which is why they urge Democrats with this foolish shutdown and everything else that these battles that are taking place on U.S. streets, that Democrat politicians are actually up against federal law enforcement agencies. Because Democrats want a muscular, quote-unquote, response to President Trump. And he's pointing at his audience, and that's why they're doing it, because of you. Because you want them to fight like this. But he issues a warning. This ain't going to end well. Because he understands this is headed into dangerous territory. And as he put it, there needs to be a reset. In other words, calm down the insanity here that Democrats seem to be going into full steam ahead. Now, regardless of whether you agree with him or not, I'm just saying once again, I don't think Chris Cuomo's Fredo anymore. His statements will definitely give him some grief on his base, from his base. Cut 5, Senator Kelly, one of the leaders in this horrible, disgusting video.
Yeah. They would be violating their oath if they followed illegal orders.
And I guess, Senator, members of the military, what is your advice to them if they come across something that seems confusing?
I think they need to talk to their leadership, talk to their commanding officer about it and tell your commanding officer why you think this may be illegal. There are lawyers within the military, the Judge Advocate General Corps. You can have a conversation, with somebody who understands
what was
the
illegal
law.
that Trump said? Enough of this. This is so go to your commanding. Well, that's what people would do anyway. Why did they do this? Why are they putting this up? To foment unrest in the military, and they are disgusting. And this is a disgusting move by Democrats who have just lost their freaking minds. A lot is happening on the immigration front. I'm glad to see that Tricia McLaughlin, DHS spokesperson, raised the point that I raised yesterday. I raised this point yesterday after looking at and playing for you the audio of what was going on in schools, where you have, in some cases, 5 kids present in a classroom that looks like it should hold 30 kids. And she was on with Varney on Fox Business. And so Tricia said this, cut 8, Tricia McLaughlin.
First of all, there's been no time during the Trump administration that there has ever been an operation conducted on a school. So that's just the facts for you. The media doesn't want to tell you that, and neither do these activists. But let's also point to the facts where 20% of some of the largest school districts in Charlotte, in the United States, really, 20% of these students are not showing up. And that's a large indicator that they are likely in this country illegally. And keep in mind, these American taxpayer dollars, they're finite. We only have so many resources for American students. So the fact of the matter is 20% of that student population being potentially in the country illegally. It means teachers can't focus on students who are falling behind, failing test scores, truancy, things that we really need to be focusing on. And we don't lay the blame at those students' feet. We blame it on the politicians who have enabled it, who have incentivized those in this country illegally to be prioritizing mass illegal immigrants instead putting American students and their success on the back burner.
And that's exactly right. Folks, you look at it. You look at it, I don't know whether you have seen the videos coming out of Charlotte. They are astounding. The empty schools, the massive construction sites that are now left vacant of no work, with no work being done because no workers. And if you are a thinking person, you must ask yourself, how is it possible that this entire city, many places look like a ghost town because the people there are afraid to come out because of ICE? Now, I got to say something else here, and this pains me to say it. I read I read these sob story. I try to read as many as I can, even though I know what they are. I know it's just pure media propaganda and manipulation. But I do read some of these stories, and I read another one today that talked about some of the conditions inside inside one of these facilities. And I will just say, I hope that what I read isn't true. Because if it is, it was pretty disgraceful. And I want to go on record as just saying that I am all for these mass deportation effort. I am all for it. But what I am not for is, and if these reports are accurate, they do need to be looked at. And I'm leaving room for the fact that they may be pure propaganda and pure one-sided fake news. But I'm also leaving room for the idea that there could be some truth to it. And if there is some truth to some of the way that these detention centers are being run, if it is true, it is unacceptable. And that was never the goal of mass deportation, to treat people inhumanely, and people should not be treated inhumanely as they are being repatriated in the whole process to their own countries. So there's that. I had so much more. I didn't even get into the Jasmine Crockett stuff. I guess we'll have to save that for tomorrow. And some of the other things that are going on. So anyway, we'll just do this. We'll take a quick break, see how much time we have as the fastest hour in American media rolls along. There's so much. That guy Tom Steyer is also running, the billionaire governor. There's a federal probe about the Chicago's teachers union. They haven't had any audits, missing financial audits since 2020, while their people have been flying around living the lack of luxury, some of their leadership. Interesting. And then there's Larry Summers. James Golden, Snerdley. Keep it right here. Don't go away. Fastest hour in American media.
Rush. This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Snerdley.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It's the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Goes by the pseudonym Snerdley.
Rush.
Now here's James Golden.
Where's the outrage for the Americans? Where's the outrage for our American children? Here we have ICE on the street doing their federally obligated duty, and you see Marie in the back talking about, oh my God, why are you racist? Why are you taking him? You take him as a family. Your family. What about my family? What about my family? You came in here in droves. You walked in my house and tried to rearrange it. I'm supposed to adapt to you? Absolutely not. My daughter got in the car yesterday and said, Mom, I was able to breathe in the corridors at school. My children didn't even get to experience the type of high school that I had, where we had 2 15-minute breaks and a 55-minute lunch, and we were able to go off campus. Theirs is 20 minutes because they have an influx of students they're trying to feed. Get them in, get them out, quick. I dropped off my son in the drop-off line today, and it was 8 cars as opposed to 85. You know how much stress that is for these children, all these people? Get out! And I remember last year, my son was a senior. He said, Mom, in math class, we couldn't even learn math because the teachers would spend half of the period trying to teach Edgar how to say hello. When you have such an influx of people coming into one country, there's going to be hiccups. So yeah, ICE might pick up illegal by accident. You better carry your papers. Thank the Democrats for keeping the border open. Thank you for these mother illegals who try to come in here and do this the shiesty way. That's what happens when you do the wrong way. I have no sympathy or empathy for you. Not at all. If it was that easy to become a U.S. citizen, everybody would do, but it's not. Welcome to life, motherfucker.
Hey, she was a little hot. Oh, my friends, fastest hour in American media. Oh, tomorrow, can't wait to hear from Princess Diana, from Lizzie, from America's Small Caffeinated Mom, from you on the phones, God willing. 1983, remember? No, you don't. But this day, 14-minute music video was premiered in L.A., directed by John Landis, co-starring the former Playboy centerfold Ola Ray. It contained a spoken word performance by Vincent Price. Premiered at the Palace Theater in downtown Los Angeles. Many of the scenes shot in L.A. It was MJ, and this propelled him, this album, into the superstardom that would define his life. It had been rising since he was a kid, but this megastar. And of course, I cannot mention this without saying Rod Temperton, songwriter, brilliant. I gotta go. May God bless. Protect each and every single one of you, your families, your loved ones. Love and gratitude, my friends, for your being here, allowing me to be with you. God willing, we're back in the morning at 7 a.m. And hope you're here too. In the meantime, I bid you adieu. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. You can hear Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour weekdays at 4 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?